What's up guys, Kaiju here again with another video, and here we'll be comparing the Egg Boy and the Zeiss Rail, Razer Orochi V2 and the Xtrfy MZ1. So first, for the price, this is retailed at like $80, and this one is around $70 to $75 depending on where you get it. And right off the bat, I'm gonna say which one's more worth it in terms of the price. I would say this is more worth it when it comes to the price. The build quality on this sucks. This isn't an $80 mouse, at least build quality wise. It's $50 at best. So yeah, but again, that's not really an attack on Rocket Jump Ninja, because he didn't make the mouse, he just designed the shape. It was Xtrfy who built it. So yeah, I think it's kind of a scam to sell this for $80 because of how bad the build quality is. So okay, so sound test, the clicks. Sorry about the chickens and everything. So I'm not sure if my phone picked up the difference, but the Orochi is kind of clickier, feels clickier, and it is lighter. So that's why I prefer it more. This one, this uses optical switches, Razer optical switches. This one uses scale 8.0s. So they are noticeably heavier. And they became heavier. They weren't as heavy, right out of the box. Even just after a few days, they already became heavier, and they don't sound as good. Out of the box, they sounded very nice and crispy. Now they feel kind of dull, or they sound kind of dull, and they feel even heavier. So for the clicks, Orochi takes it from me. Build quality. So this thing is built like a tank. Maybe not like Vaxi or Zowie, but it's built really good for the price. Actually, yeah, this top tier build quality right there. I have to really squeeze the mouse to make it to press the side buttons, and I don't even consider it as flexing because I don't feel flexing. It's just activating the side buttons. And even if it has a removable shell, I wouldn't consider it as bad build quality. So just a quick fix for those that have kind of rattly shells. When I first got this mouse, when even slightly tapping it like that, I don't know if you can hear it. Even when I was just lightly tapping it, you can hear it like that. I'm tapping it loudly now. Obviously, it's gonna make a sound, but back then, even though it was far from me, it was on my mouse pad, my head is up here, and I was just lightly tapping it, I could hear that some kind of airy feel inside that it's actually off. Just to prove the point, it felt like, yeah. Anyways, that's how it felt. That's how it felt, and that's how it sounded like, even though it was far, and lightly tapping it. But a quick fix that I saw online is, you can just slightly bend it. I'm against, how do I say that in English? I wouldn't suggest you use your hand because it might be uneven and you won't be able to control it that well. So just go on your mouse pad and just, slightly, and be careful in bending, just bend it a bit, and it really removes the kind of shakiness, the rattle, the feeling like it's an external shell, and really decreases the post-travel or pre-travel. See, I have to tap it hard now for it to make that sound. And yeah, for the wobble, you can expect it, obviously, because it's an external shell, but still there's barely any wobbles compared to this one. This thing feels like it wobbles. Yeah, I can't show it in the video, but it feels it. You don't see it, but it feels like it wobbles. Whenever I go like that, yeah, you kind of feel the mouse wobbling. The buttons, I mean. And so build quality, definitely overall, the Orochi takes it. Wireless, obvious, can't compare the wire, but obviously wireless better than this wire. And the thing is, the MZ1 is notorious for having down the line a defective wire. It disconnects quite a bit. If Logitech is known for double clicking down the line, the MZ1 is known for having wire issues down the line. So be ready to paracord it or RMA it or whatever. Hopefully they RMA it, but yeah. So build quality and coding and wirelessness and every price, Orochi takes it for me. The feeling of this mouse is just really cheap, and aside from the what I said already, the easy creakiness, it's just such a creaky mouse. Even without purposely trying to creak it, it's gonna creak. You know, just picking it up and then just wiping it, you know, it creaks a lot. Oh yeah, and that's another thing I should mention. The Orochi doesn't really pick up fingerprints. This picks up fingerprints a lot, and the coating already feels really cheap. The coating on this one is really nice. I have grip tapes right now, but even without the grip tapes, it's pretty grippy. This one gets really slippery. It's grippy at times, but then it gets really slippery when my hands start to sweat. I have very sweaty hands. And what I noticed is that this one, you can rely on the coating for grippiness. For this one, the MZ1, you have to rely on holding the mouse for you to be able to maneuver it, because the coating is really just slippery. I don't like the coating. Yeah. So basically, even physicalities, the Orochi takes it for me. So I think the only reason now for you to buy the MZ1 over the Orochi is because of the shape and the sensor. So originally, I didn't really complain about the forward sensor, but down the line, comparing other mice, using the GPX, the Viper Mini, the Outset AX, and this one, you know, I just lay it all out there just so I can test it. Yeah, it did start bothering me. Initially, it didn't bother me, but yeah, comparing it to other mice, it did start bothering me, and it might bother you as well, but I don't really see other people complaining about it all that much. They just mention it, but in all the reviews that I've seen, I think the only person that was bothered by it a bit was Hardware Unplugged. Was it Carlos? Yeah, I think he said he couldn't aim with his mouse. So yeah. And it bothers me in only those precise, very tiny dots in Kovacs. You know, one wall, 6 targets small, one wall, 4 targets small. Those slow moving dots, was that floating heads for 100%? You know, where I have to be extra precise. But in tracking, target switching, and bigger targets, it didn't really bother me that much. It did start bothering me a bit for Valorant, you know, just because I got to compare it. But if you really don't have any other mouse to compare it to, like, you know, you don't have like 5 mice there, you're just constantly trying out in game or whatever, it's not gonna bother you. And I'm sure after using it for a bit, your brain is going to adjust to it. So it might not even bother you. So there's only like a few people who are bothered by it. So I don't think you can be scared, but it did affect me enough that I don't want to use it anymore. At least for now, because, you know, I'm more comfortable with the others. So it's just a food for thought. Now for the shape, shape-wise, actually, it's really like why am I comparing these? But you know, because when you think of fingertip, at least mainstream mice, those that can't really buy the HSK mice, the M2K mice, the what do you call that? The the G-Wolves, the G-Wolves mice, you know, those aren't really mainstream. These are like the more common choices people are going to think. And yeah. And you know, fingertip mice. So the shape, the size is pretty much the same. However, the way they feel in the hand is really different. Because basically, the Orochi is an egg. It's round. You know, it's convex. Yeah. You know, sorry about the motorcycle. Yeah. It's rounded like that. It's rounded like that. The side on the right is very rounded. I think the only thing that's recessing or concave is the left. The left groove for your thumb, the thumb groove. Whereas here, the MZ1, this is a very recessed and concave mouse. Like the comfort grooves are very aggressive, really going in like that, which I do like and appreciate. It gives you a better grip, better control. But yeah, and then this one is also aggressively going inside, and this one I had to put the grip tapes because again it was two going inside, and that it has holes on the side, which makes gripping it painful. Like, I feel like they could have just removed and the holes on the side. Maybe it'll add a few grams, but maybe they could have removed the RGB. You know what I'm saying? It's just awkward. But again, I feel this was built for Rocket Jump Ninja. I mean, he built it for himself. I don't think he built it for other people as well. He really built it for himself. So he added, I put grip tapes on him, but there were holes here, and then not holes, and then holes, and then no holes again, and then holes. Just where he would put his ring and pinky fingers. So overall, I think the Orochi is a safer shape. It's really way more comfortable. This is not comfortable at all. This really focuses on performance, which I can attest to that. However, if you like a stable mouse, stable feeling mouse, this isn't for you. This is more on for like games where you flick and move a lot. Yeah, I mean, Rocket Jump Ninja plays quick, and I can see this mouse being good for that, because when I grab this mouse, it's like, it's just built for flicks or tracking and everything. And it's kind of weird because I play Valorant, so this is way too unstable for me for Valorant, because it really feels like it wants to lift off as compared to the Orochi. The Orochi feels way more stable for me. I can claw this more stable. Yeah. For clawing, it's really subjective. Again, I can't say which one is better for clawing. I'm just gonna say which one is comfortable. For clawing, this is definitely more comfortable because of how forgiving and how round it is. This one has lots of holes, and it's kind of like, sharp-ish because of its concavities and rails. But if you like a mouse where for both mice, you can pretty much knuckle claw it, like when you want the butt against your knuckles, and then you're gonna claw it like that. You can do it for both. But this feels flatter, so it's lower. And then originally I was about to say that if you like clawing with the butt on the palm, go for the Orochi. But after testing it a bit more, the MZ1 is better for that. It just fills out the butt, just fills out your palm way more, and you're gonna claw like that. In both these mice, it's hard to make them have contact here in this area of your palm because of just how small and short they are. Yeah, you can pincer grip both of them, but again, this is more comfortable. Yeah. What else? So for clawing, you can go with either or, but for finger tipping, if you like, obviously this is built more for finger tipping, but this is also considered for finger tipping because of just how small it is. But if you like straight finger tipping, I would say this one's better for you. Or if you're just getting into finger tipping, this might be more. It feels more natural to fingertip. This one feels awkward to fingertip if you're gonna straight finger it because of just how round the right side is. It's a bit uncomfortable for a straight, what do you call this, ring finger, because of just how convex it is. It kind of bends it like that, so it's a bit uncomfortable for me. And whenever I fingertip this mouse, my fingers tend to gravitate to go a bit more up as compared to when I prefer that they are, in other mice, to be nearer the tip of the buttons because of just how relatively big the slope is. So it really goes down like that. And if you're gonna hold it like this, it just starts to feel awkward. Like you feel like the entire weight of the mouse is at the back. So it's just weird to control it. So if you're gonna fingertip it, take note, you would probably like it more, or it feels more natural to fingertip it here on top. Yeah, I feel way more natural fingertipping it like this. And yeah, this one you can fingertip it wherever. You can here, up top, or down there. You can flat fingertip it. That's kind of awkward with this one. So yeah, I think it has something to do with the sensor or the shape. I don't know. Sorry, there's an airplane. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. If I were to suggest something, I would definitely suggest Orochi. I really would have, like, hands down would go for the Orochi if it weren't for the forward sensor. I would have stuck with it. I'm really disappointed by the build quality and the price ratio, and yeah, the shape. I mean, the shape is good. Obviously, I can't really complain about the shape, because Rocket Jump the premise. Okay, the premise of the shape is for Rocket Jump Ninja. He said it himself. He built it for himself. And I don't think he built it for other people. He built it, or I'm not. Fine. I don't want to say he didn't consider our other people, but he primarily considered himself. He built a mouse for himself and his game and his aim style and whatnot. So yeah, you would have to try to experiment to find your own grip with this one, because it's really catered for him. But yeah, especially if you if you play Apex, Titanfall, or arena shooters, where you really have to be moving around constantly. This is a really good shape and really good mouse for that. I just hate the wire, because it always gets caught like that. I don't know why. I mean, I already have a bungee and everything. That's never happened. It always gets caught like that. It's annoying. So yeah, sensor aside, definitely go for the Orochi. It's a safer shape. It's wireless. It's cheaper, more comfortable, in the long run. And if this pretty much the only mouse that you use, or you're gonna main this like 80% of the time, yeah, I really doubt that the sensor placement is going to affect you. Unless, again, you have like 5 mics there that you're just constantly trying in between, in between runs in Kovacs or Aim Labs, or in between rounds in Valorant. Oh yeah, the mouse, the stock feet. The stock feet for the Orochi is more controlled. The stock feet for this one is a bit fast. This is almost faster, as fast or a bit faster than the Tiger Eyes. And the fact that they're harder than the Tiger Eyes actually makes it feel faster, especially if you have a harder pad like the Otsu. Or like in the Zero, I'm not sure if you're going to notice that much of a difference, but with the Otsu, kind of a denser, harder pad, relatively at least, it's going to be faster. So yeah, this is a pretty fun mouse, don't get me wrong. It's a fun mouse. I'm just really disappointed by the price to quality ratio. Yeah, it really feels like how it feels. Shape aside, whatever aside, it feels like a $50 mouse or cheaper, so for me, if I were to suggest something, probably the Orochi takes it. Unless you really want to try it. Unless you're really curious and you want to try the shape, or you're really scared of the front forward sensor. Anyways, that's it for me. I hope I explained them in detail. That's as detailed as I can think of. Anyways, peace.